They supported President Trump's efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 election. Rudy Giuliani, then Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, and 75 other allies have been pardoned.
This is bigger than Donald Trump.
The White House says these great Americans were persecuted and put through hell by the Biden administration for challenging an election, which is the cornerstone of democracy.
Well, Trump is primed to pardon, and last night he announced that he will be pardoning Tina Peters, the election-denying former county clerk from Colorado. In 2024, she was convicted in connection with a voting systems security break. Problem is, this is really just a symbolic pardoning. It doesn't mean a whole lot because Peters was convicted of state crimes, and the president can't pardon a state crime. So Peters was convicted last year of 4 felonies and 3 misdemeanor charges. She was sentenced to 9 years in prison, which she is currently serving. More on that later. But here is what Trump wrote about Peters on Truth Social. He said, Democrats have been relentless in their targeting of Tina Peters, a patriot who simply wanted to make sure that our elections were fair and honest. Tina is sitting in a Colorado prison for the crime of demanding honest elections. Today, I am granting Tina a full pardon for her attempts to expose voter fraud in the rigged 2020 presidential election. Trump can't pardon Peters, though, and the Colorado Attorney General Phil Weiser has confirmed this, saying the idea that a president could pardon someone tried and convicted in state court has no precedent in American law, would be an outrageous departure from what our Constitution requires, and will not hold up. But it gets weird. Because of course it does. If we recall Trump's attempt to deny and overturn the 2020 election results, there were a lot of very strange players involved, including Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy. Haven't heard a lot from him lately, which is, typically a good thing. But Peters' conviction involved her use of someone else's security badge to give someone connected to Lindell access to the election equipment. And also yesterday, Mike Lindell announced that he is running for governor of Minnesota next year. And if the people of Minnesota flip from Tim Walz to Mike Lindell, they deserve everything they get. Cenk, what do you think?
Yeah, so the press is doing him a weird solid here. They keep saying that it was a symbolic pardon, but Trump never said that. He's never intimated that. And I read his whole statement. His statement is very clear. He's wrote it like he's giving her a pardon, like the other pardons that he's given that actually he could give because they're at the federal level. I don't think he knows that he can't give her a pardon. And so look, this is where I lose a lot of right wingers who get deeply offended when I talk about how unintelligent Donald Trump is. And B, I actually lose a good number of folks in the left and the middle who are like, Cenk, come on now, come on. He's the president, he got elected twice. Of course he's gotta be smart. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He's a one-trick pony. Go run towards the spotlight and talk. Trump. Meanwhile, the Democrats are hiding in a cave. I mean, who couldn't beat those idiots? So the reality is, he keeps talking about, I took the IQ test and I passed it like no one's ever passed it. It was a cognitive, mental cognition test that's for dementia. They're like, sir, we're giving you a test for dementia. Congratulations, you don't have it. I knew it, I'm the best genius IQ guy. It's not an IQ test, you moron of morons, okay? He hides his grades from all the way to high school. He threatens to sue or imprison people that look at his grades. Who does that? Who's that insecure? A guy who probably got nothing but Fs and his daddy got him into every school. He's a spoiled little brat. So we're forgetting that he said we should inject disinfectant into our lungs to cure COVID. Come on, guys, come on. He doesn't know he can't pardon her. He's a moron. He doesn't know any of our laws or rules. And after he lost in 2020, he's like, well, if you have fraud like this, of course you can terminate the Constitution. No, you can't, that's not a thing. So, and recently, just actually last night, he did this again. Let's show you the video with Melania.
I went to the hospital and they actually thought he wasn't gonna make it. His wife was devastated. She was crying. I tell the story. I found out that night you have a wife that loves you dearly. I know many wives would not even be crying. But your wife was absolutely a mess. She was crying, she was inconsolable, Steve. So we found that out, but he made it.
Who doesn't know to not tell that story? Let alone to not tell it when your wife's right next to you, right? You know, he gets shot. Looks like he's gonna die. Turns out his wife is upset about it. Some wives aren't. Pan over to Melania. He has no sense at all, at all. He probably thinks, that's it, I saved Tina Peters. I pardoned her. Sir, you only have federal pardon power. I pardoned her. I got an A++++ on my pardon. All right, brother, you go ahead, good. You know what, she's out. You can now move on with your life because your pardon saved her. No, she's facing 9 years.
Yeah, just like the way that he told that weird story as his wife is standing right next to him, and everyone knows that Melania would never cry over Donald Trump. Everyone knows that as soon as Donald Trump is no longer, however that happens, she's gonna take Barron and run back to Europe, right? That's like, she can't wait to get out of here. But like, this whole thing is so ridiculous. I can't wait for the end of these Trump years, however that happens. And it's just so ridiculous. It would be so nice and so refreshing to just have a president who actually understands how the law works and how governance works and how our country works. So, you know, we're looking forward to better days ahead because they have to come at some point. Like, they have to come. That's it.
Yeah, you would hope so.
I really do hope so.
Super last thing. I thought Republicans hated voter fraud. She was convicted on voter fraud. Now we're gonna pardon people who do voter fraud as long as they're doing it for Trump? Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.